Well, I was going to document this whole extreme budget garage build I got going on, but I'll update you guys on what I've been working on. It's a 94 12 valve, 5-speed, single cab long bed, and it's got a pile of miles on it. It's got 290,000 miles, I think, on it, but it's had pretty much all the gaskets gone through on the motor and everything replaced, but what I've been working on is getting all the body work done. I got it all sanded down to primer and paint mostly. Got all the body work knocked out. It came out really smooth. Had a big dent on the other side. And got new batteries for it. Got it fired up and running good. So everything's sanded down. I'm gonna end up shooting primer and paint in my garage here. Just tape everything off, make a ghetto paint booth. Got all new shocks coming, exhaust, headlights, tail lights. It's gonna end up being a flatbed. So I think what I'm gonna end up doing is paint matching the bottom side of the flatbed to the whole truck, and it's really refurbishing an old rusty flatbed also. It's like I said, it's a complete budget build going on here. As far as the interior goes, got all new pins for the door panels, got new door speakers, new touchscreen head unit. It's got two 12-inch subs in it already. I did a little while back, but I'm gonna have onboard air compressor so I can run my bags up and down, just kick of a switch. And I started cleaning up the frame a little bit. The whole thing's gonna get undercoated and really just making a reliable daily driver out of the deal. So that's a little update what I've been working on. I've got a lot of parts coming for it though, so I'll try to be better about recording it as I go along. So I swung by Harbor Freight after work and I picked up some of this rubberized undercoating. It's only like $3 a can, and I only got 2 of them because I wanted to try it out before I did the whole truck in it. And the 2 cans went way farther than I thought it was going to. So before here you can see how rusty the frame rails were. It's mostly just surface rust, so I just went through and quickly hit it with a wire brush. And I'm actually really impressed with this undercoating. I'm gonna go buy a few more cans of it and get the rest of it wire wheeled and wire brushed out. So got the whole truck sitting on jack stands here. Had to make it sit a little bit lower than leveled with 35s on it because I have garage door clearance issues when I'm parked in the middle here. But I got the rest of the frame undercoated. Looks pretty dang good. I have some more places I need to hit, but I'm gonna get everything undercoated underneath here. I'm gonna get my radius arms, gonna get the coils, clean off the frame there, get that undercoated. But I need these shocks out of the way. I already have new shocks. I'm not worried about getting overspray on them, but I want to get the back of the coils with the undercoat. So I'm just going to pull these old ones out here and clean it up. And there is one more bolt on the top here. So you got 1, 2, and 3 is on the back side. You can reach it from the top. And it makes a really big difference if you have ratcheting wrenches. I think this one's a 14 millimeter or a 9/16, same size. There's actually one more bolt right there on the front that holds your shock in. So you pull that and it all slides right out the top. All right, those are really stuck. So this here is what we like to call the motivator. See if we can't get a little bit of, oh yeah. Get this one loosened up in here. Makes it easy because all my brackets are broken on the bottom of that. Got a new air filter housing coming. Set that where you'll forget it. Bingo. Looks about as expected. Maybe a little bit cleaner. So once you get that off, it's significantly easier to get down into that one. Just grab an extension, pull that off real quick. Haven't checked the shaft play yet, but there's no shaft play in there. I'm quite impressed, actually. So it's got a big old like 12-inch extension on the Milwaukee here. See if we can't motivate it to come out. When a Milwaukee's got to work that hard, you know it's rusty. Now, it's loose up here at the top. See if we can't wiggle it out of here. I was worried about it getting caught up on that fender liner. Also, don't set crescent wrenches on your battery because they do try to weld themselves together. I haven't tried that or anything, but let's use that crescent wrench there to hold the center while I got this loosened up. So now the shock tower, pop right out of here with a little bit of, oh yeah. These shocks are absolutely shot. You can see they just bottom out here. Pry it up with a pry bar so I can get those bushings out of the shock mount. Just like that. Slide right out of the top there. So I'm gonna get this all wired, brushed up. Get all the crusty dusties out of there. Make it look pretty again. But you can just see the difference here where I already hit the frame, what it looks like compared to what it was before. And I'll show you guys when I'm finishing up spraying it. When Milwaukee sells something that you just gotta have, here we go. I've used this leaf blower for way more than blowing leaves. It's quite handy actually. Well, today's a big day. We're gonna start shooting paint. I'm gonna cover up the frame here, make sure I don't get any white overspray on my freshly undercoated frame. I'm gonna start pulling all the window seals out and whatnot, get it all masked off. Back here, I'm gonna leave this window seal in. You can see a little bit of overspray already for the first time I primed it, but I'm just gonna mask it really good, get tight lines so it all comes out good. Gonna get this whole thing washed and wiped down with some grease remover. Then shoot some primer on it, see how it looks. Got it on jack stands here so I can get closer to the roof up there. I'll show you guys kind of how I'm going through masking everything off. I'm gonna paint my door handles white. I already sanded them down. I think it'll look a little bit better. Gonna leave the mirrors black. Everything's just gonna be white and black. I like the look of color matched mirrors, but every one that I've painted before always gets rock chips and chewed up, and they don't look very good for so long. You can see big difference. Here's the side that I haven't undercoated yet. You come in here, I spent about an hour wire brushing and getting everything painted up nice. This is the last chance you get to find any imperfections you have going on. I just have a little piece of 220 here, knocking down just little sections that we missed when we were sanding and getting all the body work done. There's another part on the side here. I'm not sure if you can see it. There's a little rough ridges right in there. Just gonna sand that down real quick. And this is your last chance really. You can sand your primer once you get it all primed up again. I really don't want to do that because you end up with dust everywhere and get little contaminants in your paint. So I'm just gonna go through, just kind of do the hand test, feel everything down. You can feel all the imperfections on it most of the time. Right in here came out really good. This whole corner is caved in. I actually had somebody pull the dent with a dent puller. They welded the little tacks on there, pulled it out. Got it feeling pretty good. And just a couple layers of Bondo over it. There's nowhere thicker than 1/8 of an inch on there. Just a big surface area to blend it out. There's a couple little dingers in here, but basically this isn't a show paint job. It's $100 paint off eBay that I'm gonna be spraying it with. Like, I just want the whole truck to be one color. If it drives through a barbed wire fence, I won't be too mad about it. Just a little disappointed, so everything is masked off. Got the windows, all the weather stripping on there. And we use this really thin plastic, got at Walmart. It's a 10-foot roll by 100 feet. Just cover everything so I don't have to worry about overspraying dust and whatnot. But everything important is masked off. Gonna start shooting some primer in there. Got the first coat of primer shot in. Spend a little bit of time figuring out your spray pattern and make sure it's all lined up first before you get going on it. You can kind of see the hood right here. Got some dry spots, and it was right in the middle of the fan. I wasn't hitting right in the center. It was kind of, the spray fan was heavy on the outsides, so we got that fixed up. I started over here on this side of the truck. See a little dent right in there, but for a $100 paint job, I gotta say this Speedo Cote, pretty sweet stuff. It's one shot. It was $100 on eBay. So I got the Speedo Primer Gray. Most guys don't even primer their trucks that I was watching. They just do a nice scratch and shoot white paint over it, and it's pretty much you shoot it once and it's covered up. But I did primer. Kind of wanted to cover up all the unevenness. Like you guys saw, there was not a whole lot of it that was the same color. So we'll get this first one blocked out, sanded down pretty good. Still waiting for the hood to dry. Probably give it an hour. We'll sand this down, see if we need to shoot another primer coat or if we can just run it with the white. But it came out pretty dang good. So we just got done putting the adhesive promoter on. This stuff is vicious. You're definitely gonna want a respirator because it burns your everything really bad. So it's an adhesion promoter, and it's supposed to make it sticky so your paint sticks to it. And it's kind of wet and tacky looking. We'll see how it makes everything stick, but came out pretty good. We're all geared up, ready to go. So it's a little musty in here still, but got the first coat on. Got a little heavy in a couple spots, but we're gonna be wet sanding it anyways. But this paint, one coat on this baby, and if you really knew how to paint, this is my first paint job, but if you really knew how to paint, you could do one-stop shop, one and done. Pretty glossy. So we got 1,000 grit sandpaper, 1,500 grit sandpaper, and a water bottle with 1 drip of soap in it. And we're wet sanding the whole thing down. You can get all the runs and whatnot out before you put your second coat on. And you can feel it kind of gliding across on the smooth parts after you knock it down. And when you go to places you haven't knocked down, it sticks pretty good. So that's how you know you're getting it flat. So just rolled it out of the shop. Came out really good. This is just the final coat. I didn't wet sand it or buff it or anything. Came out really glossy. Got the mirrors on, got the headlights in. Need to paint the grill still and figure out if I'm gonna mount the stock bumper for now or get the other one customized up, but it came out really nice. Not too bad for a $100 paint job. So I have the flatbed for the old 12 valve in the shop. Don't mind the overspray. I'm gonna end up masking right up underneath, right in there. So it's just gonna be the 4 boxes that'll be white, hanging down underneath the bed, and then the bed rails will be gloss black, and the headache rack and whatnot will all be gloss black. Came out pretty dang good. These boxes, I'm gonna put some weather stripping in so they don't vibrate and whatnot. That's where the cab corners come in. I paint matched those so you can't tell the difference kind of when it rolls into there, but I'm gonna mask up against this right in here, paint that all gloss black. So we got this big old A-frame in here, helps this process out a lot. Have to take the 35s off so you can clear up underneath in here. Get the receiver slid under because the receiver's welded to the flatbed, and it's the factory receiver that bolts on there. I guess this is the first time you're seeing the finished painted flatbed too. It's the first time back on the ground with the flatbed painted. Still have the minor details like the headlights and grill, bumper and whatnot, but so you can get a good look how it's gonna sit when it's all finished up. So here we got the final product, finally all put together. I ended up going back just with the factory chrome bumper and factory chrome grille and everything. Just looked a lot better than what I had envisioned initially, but got my Cummins badges on there. Got my little toolbox mounts. It's pretty cool. If you guys know about Milwaukee pack-out boxes, these are the bed mount boxes, and all your toolboxes just slide on and off of that, and they lock on there pretty easy. And here's the back of the truck. Ended up going with the chrome clear housing lights, but they're red LEDs, and I got some really bright reverse lights, but everything came out pretty good.